Ladies and gentlemen, there's a moment in life when everything around you seems to go still. No phones buzzing, no voices pulling you in different directions, no expectations weighing on your shoulders. Just you, alone with your own reflection. And in that quiet space, you hear a voice. Not loud, not dramatic, but honest. A voice that says, "Is this who you promised yourself you'd be?" I remember sitting in a small apartment years ago, before anyone knew my name, before any scripts, before any stages. I sat on the edge of that bed wondering if I was living for myself or living for approval. And I realized something. The most dangerous thing a person can lose is not money, not opportunities. It's their sense of self. When you forget who you are, the world will gladly hand you a version that benefits them. Choosing self-respect starts in those quiet conversations. It's in admitting when you've bent so far to please others that you don't recognize your own reflection anymore. It's in acknowledging when you've tolerated behavior that chips away at your spirit. It's in realizing that every time you say yes while your heart is screaming a no, you are abandoning the one person you are responsible for protecting, yourself. But that moment of honesty, it changes everything. It's like finally turning the lights on in a room you've kept dim for years. You start to see where you've allowed your boundaries to fade. You recognize the places where you minimized your value just to keep the peace. You see the ways you've talked yourself out of your own greatness because you were afraid of standing alone, and then something powerful happens. You begin to reclaim yourself piece by piece, choice by choice, day by day. You speak to yourself differently. You challenge the beliefs that kept you small. You start asking, what would my life look like if I truly respected myself? And the answers, they hit you hard because deep down, you always knew. That moment, that quiet reckoning, is where self-respect is born. Not in public, not in applause, not in the eyes of others, but in the private agreement you make with your own soul. I remember my mother's words clearer than almost anything else she ever told me. She said, be careful who you let walk beside you, because their footsteps can lead you somewhere you never meant to go. And at the time, I didn't fully understand it. I thought staying loyal to everyone meant I was being a good friend, a good man, a good person. But life teaches you, sometimes slowly, sometimes painfully, that not everyone in your life is meant to be in your life. There are people who smile at you but hope you stay exactly where you are, because your growth threatens their comfort. There are people who only love the weakened version of you, because the strong version holds them accountable. There are people who clap when you fall because your rise reminds them of the work they're avoiding. And if you're not careful, you start thinking this is normal. You start thinking this is all you deserve.